welcome back to the Inner Alchemist TV. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look into Carlos King of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So before we get started, please like this video. Also, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel and that you have your notification bells on. I did do Chris Fletcher's reading. He was supposed to be next, for those of you guys who were asking. But I don't know. It was a lot of personal information in that reading. And I don't feel like I got clearance from the universe whether or not I can release that one or if I should do another one and just kind of dumb it down a little bit. So the verdict is not out on whether or not I'm going to release that video, but it is done just in case. In the meantime, I was called to do a reading on Carlos King. I don't know why, but that's what we're going to be doing. I just want to jump right in, right? Overall energy for this spread is the Page of Wands in reverse. Now, when I was trying to correlate that page to the rest of the spreads, I couldn't find any energy showing that it was a person or an action that's being taken. And so the pages can also represent messages or messengers. And I feel like this is just telling me that there's about to be some type of announcement that comes out or some type of message given, but I believe there's going to be an announcement made. The reading is opening up with the Six of Pentacles, and this is about generosity, right? The Six of Pentacles is a sharing type of energy, but for some reason I got loan from this. And I don't know if he loaned someone some money to get like a house or to purchase a residence, or if he has maybe someone living in one of his residences. But I feel like this is about him trying to do things that benefit other people. There's like this heavy sense of kind of soul searching over this reading. And it's like saying that Carlos, although his exterior is doing very well and very prosperous, on the inside, he's just not happy anymore. There's definitely a lot of frustrations with the show, but that's mainly having to do with regulations that are kind of like keeping him from being able to take things like in a way that he would want them to. I guess they call it like red tape, or I don't know. In some jobs they call it, no, it's not really a glass ceiling where you keep from rising. It's just something that's stopping him from being more innovative and creative. And that's causing a sense of frustration for him as well, in addition to just some things that that's going on with him internally, is what I'm saying. So I don't know if this generosity with this Six of Pentacles is him kind of like being in a state of being lost. You know how you go through like a mild kind of like laissez-faire time of your life, and you start just being a little bit more generous with others because you're kind of foggy, if you will. That's kind of where I see that this is coming from. So like I said, it's possible that he may have loaned somebody, like I said on the show, money for a home, or he may have loaned his home to someone. I feel like whoever it is somebody that maybe was like dry begging or begging, but definitely thankful to receive help from him. He definitely helped someone, and I show that it made them happy. Now, in the underlying energy, I had the Eight of Cups in reverse. And this is where I kind of got the feeling of Carlos feeling empty inside, or just kind of not satisfied with the way that things are going. I saw some frustration with his staff, and that they keep dropping the ball or making mistakes, or he can't depend on them to run this show properly. And even though he knows that the majority of people on his cast are in financial distress with this Nine of Pentacles in reverse, there's something about him where his heart is not in it. Like I said, with this World card and this Eight of Cups in reverse, this is showing me that he feels like things have run their course, or things have come kind of full circle for him. And that from the outside, looking at him, everything seems to be going really well. And from all accounts, nobody would say Carlos was unsuccessful. But on the inside, he feels spiritually depleted or in need of something more. And for me, this Eight of Cups can represent him walking away from this life that he built that's full of fame or full of fortune or full of treasures. With this nine of Pentacles, this could even be a sense of him letting himself go behind the scenes. Like, yeah, on the surface, you look neat. You appear to have it all together. Everything's intact. But behind closed doors, things are really falling apart. Very much so. So I feel like this Eight of Cups is him feeling like his expectations are not being met on a spiritual level. And I almost see him going like overseas or something, like to Bali or something. Like very much giving me Eat, Pray, Love. You know, I see him taking on like things like meditation, or just thinking about things like a family, wishing he was married and maybe had children, and maybe trying to contend with the fact that he doesn't have those things. And with that Nine of Pentacles in reverse, being bored with independence and self-indulgence and just taking care of himself all the time. Oh, maybe that shows why he has that Six of Pentacles there, showing him giving things away. You know, like I said, Four of Pentacles usually represents a house or property. I couldn't imagine him giving away a home, but it's possible. And that's why I said, well, either you loan somebody money for a home or someone's living in your home. I feel like he's done with feeling like the work that he's putting out is just good enough. And I don't know. I feel like he's just on this thing where he wants to drop everything. But what's holding him there is him caring about other people that are involved. A lot of women in this spread, like 5. And I think it's keeping him from really walking away. And so if he does, it's going to be something that nobody saw coming. Right? Nobody saw it coming. And maybe that's what this Page of Wands in reverse announcement represents, is someone abandoning everything, or saying that they're retiring or leaving the business. You know what I mean? I feel like like I said, I feel like he's just craving more. With this Eight of Cups, it's sticking out to me. I feel like he's just craving more on a spiritual level. And like I said, I feel like this is giving me a vibe of everything coming full circle and the show having run its course. So I strongly believe that maybe there's an announcement coming about the show ending. It's possible, right? Like I said, that Nine of Pentacles is up there in reverse. You know, that's about people, you know, losing finances. But at the same time, this is him feeling a sense of completion, like my work here is done. And maybe there was a sense of him trying to groom with this Empress card and prepare other staff members, like I said, with that Ten of Wands in reverse, other staff members to kind of take over, but they haven't been able to pull it off. And that's been a real heavy frustration for him, for sure. That he was not able to, you know, groom someone into the position of taking over, basically. I feel like he's constantly having to clean up people's mess, having to do with the producers. Maybe there's some interns here with this Knight of Wands and the Ten of Wands in reverse, or his proteges or people under him. Every time he tries to hire a staff to spearhead something or take over in one direction, it's almost like he's duplicating himself, but at the same time they're messing things up so bad that he just has to come and double and triple what he has to do to fix it. And that's becoming very frustrating for him. It's just chaotic. It's too chaotic for him. Yeah, and I feel like this really just has to do mostly with him being tired of taking care of people's mess. Carlos is also he's grieving something. He's having a hard time getting over something. And it has to do with the severance of a relationship where I don't want to say it was a wife, because obviously we know he's not into women, but there was a female relationship where he felt like this person was his wife or his spouse, and that person is no longer in his life. And I find that he's still grieving about that, but both of them are grieving each other at the same time. Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of frustration and a lot of open-ended or conversations that haven't come to a closure because somebody's putting on airs and not making themselves accessible or reachable to bring something to a close. For him, I feel like he's intimidated by this person's confidence, and he's perceiving it as aggression. But I think he wants to have a conversation and talk about maybe some of the jealousy he experienced. But maybe that jealousy was confusing to him because it comes off as a relationship. Like I said, there's an element of his relationship with this woman where he treated her or protected her like she was his wife and expected the same loyalty that comes with that. You know what I mean? But maybe, like I said, with that confidence kind of welding up in that person, I'm not going to say that he lost control, but I don't know. I feel like I said, he perceived it as aggression, or he took it that way. I also feel like Carlos is focused on surrounding himself with amazing people who have his back. That's really where he's focused at. He's trying to own in on his social media skills and deal with people who can give him that sense of fulfillment. But I feel like nothing is I don't feel like it's happening for him. There's too many cards here of him not feeling satisfied in his career, and it could just be an overabundance of talent and you not knowing which one to pick or which way you want to go. It could be something like that. But I feel like for him, especially with this show, he feels like the meaning, or he feels like they lost the plot. That's the perfect way to put it. He feels like there's no meaning to it anymore. And there's like an increasing sense of frustration. And there's a constant question of what is the purpose of this being this show? What is the purpose of this? And there's no more passion for it. Yeah, and like I said, clarified by that world card is just giving me things have come full circle, or run its course, should I say. I feel like overall, though, Carlos is struggling with finding his next big thing, or finding his next big career path. Maybe he'll be documenting a spiritual journey, because I feel heavily that this has to do with some soul searching. Like I said, meditating. I don't know, for some reason I'm getting a vibe of like Russell Simmons in Bali. I feel like this Five of Wands here represents competition. And the field that he's in, like I said, because of the red tape, he's not able to be innovative enough to keep up with like the likes of maybe like the Zeus network, or even social media for that matter. Like there's certain boundaries that are in place that keep him from being able to take the show in the next level. And it seems like it's maxed out for where it is. I feel like he's competing maybe for some contracts, maybe for more money. Like I said, to help him to become innovative, to invest in marketing or different ways to project the show. But maybe he's not getting that. Like maybe he's competing with other bids, like from Bravo or OWN or some other networks or some other television shows. Yeah. I feel like his team, Kingdom Reign, there's a lot of fighting here. And like I said, he's lost control of some of his employees because he's constantly having to pick up and clean up after them. And at the same time, a lot of them are arguing with him and fighting with him over money. There's a lot of infighting at Kingdom Reign right now. And there's a warning sign with this Five of Wands of him needing to watch his back, watching the people around him. One man in particularly, the King of Wands in reverse, is somebody that he needs to watch. I don't think that this is like a righteous person. This is somebody that's maybe, I don't know, like maybe he's tolerating, or maybe they're tolerating each other, but they don't really necessarily see it for each other. The King of Wands in reverse is somewhat of an egomaniac, and or a person like with like a hot temper. And I feel like this is a person, a man that he may be butting heads with. Now there's three queens in the spread: Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, and Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords, the most severe queens, are in reverse. So I feel like this can represent women kind of like also forming an alliance to ask for more or get more out of him, or him having to come up against women who are kind of like banding together. But maybe only one of them really cares about him, and the others are all about business and what the business is. You know what I mean? It's not emotional. They're not emotionally attached to him. And that may have been something that he relied on. Maybe. Now, like I said, you got this King of Wands in reverse. That's a male. And I feel like this person is, I don't know, this is somebody that he's arguing with for sure. Or some type of like, there's some type of tension between him and this person. I got the King of Wands in reverse and the Moon card. And again, this is a person that's doing things behind his back. There's so much shit going on that Carlos doesn't know about. It's not even funny, especially with that Ten of Wands. But I'm wondering, with him being so disconnected from the show because he feels like he can't take it to the next level. There's budgeting issues. There's, like I said, red tape, lack of inspiration possibly, or lack of innovation, should I say, because he's still showing as a creative. But if there's places that they won't allow the network to be taken, then what? So that Moon card is there, and I feel like that represents him contemplating what to do next. But at the same time, there's a lot of tension. And that tension, that inner tension that he's feeling, and again, it has to do with him just being unsatisfied. Despite the fact that everything in your life is going well, you still not being happy. And maybe giving him, I don't want to say guilt, but maybe giving him a sense of, I don't know, because there's the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and this is you not caring about the things that you invested in or spent your money on because you feel like you can't find meaning in the stuff. And again, a sense of him abandoning it. Like I said, maybe subletting his home to somebody, or letting somebody live in his house while he goes to travel the world or do his next thing. Carlos Takes America. I don't know. But I feel like there's a desire for him to, I don't know, like walk on the wild side. And I feel like this Moon card represents two natures of his. The one side that has conformed and has found success and wealth and fame and riches, and the inside that opposes that. Or, like I said, does not find any satisfaction in it. I also feel like this Moon card and this King of Wands represents like scavengers maybe around Carlos. King of Wands, like I said, in reverse could represent down low or gay men. And if this is in that Knight of Wands in reverse, I don't want to take it too far, but this could be him having a down low relationship with somebody on his staff. But this person like being married, like I said, maybe that's where the wife came in at. Because there's, like I told you, there's a female that he feels there was like a wife situation with. or he had a wife regard for a female, but that's the recent past, and that relationship was severed and there was heartbreak. But now that I'm looking at this King of Wands in reverse and I see this Empress and this Queen of Cups here, this is making me feel like he's possibly in a down low relationship with one of his employees, who maybe has a baby on the way, or maybe has a wife somewhere. Queen of Cups and the Empress card. That's definitely giving me wife energy. And this Three of Swords can represent third party relationships. Not consensual, right? We're not talking about threesomes and three ways. We're talking about the Moon card, things that are happening when nobody's looking. And maybe this is what's leading to those heavy inner thoughts that he's having, or that sense of discontentment. Is that a word? Or not finding comfort in things. That can be a source of, karma, if you will. Some of us look at people that are successful and we think like, they're never going to get their karma, this, that, or the third. But sometimes not being able to enjoy your success is karma. Not being able to relax and melt into it without, doing something to yourself in order to relax. Your mind is racing. You can't sleep. Those are when your sleep can be withheld to the point where you consider it a blessing when you have it. Ten of Wands up there is showing me the burdens and the toll that is taken on Carlos. Maybe even, I feel like he's losing his grip a little bit. Or it feels maybe like he's about to go insane. But you got to remember, with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, this is a person on the exterior that seems to have it all together. And on the inside, they're falling apart. They're responsible for too many people. Too many women, for one. Empress card, Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, the World card, Queen of Cups. All of those are women. And not all of those women have their shit together. The Queen of Wands is a handful. The Queen of Swords is a problem. The Nine of Pentacles, these women are all falling apart. And it's looking like the responsibility often falls on him. That's the way I'm seeing it. And like I said, too many burdens. And him trying to seek like a resolution or alleviation, or looking at his priorities, and maybe not even knowing how, or not knowing how to reassess or readdress things, and that being the reason why you just want to escape in the middle of the night and go on a spiritual journey, or change courses, or end something abruptly. With the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Cups, this to me looks like you're doing something abruptly. And maybe this is you not wanting to worry about the administrative things or what it takes to close something up, but you just wanting to get out. And leaving people high and dry. That Nine of Pentacles is leaving somebody high and dry who may have depended on you for a source of income or something like that. But I don't see this lasting, you guys. I think things are coming to an end. There's too much wear and tear in this spread. Too much industry competition. Like I said, things are changing in the way people do things, and with the network and the people that he's working with, he can't keep up with how the changing environment of the industry. But he's got all these people leaning on him and depending on him, and he hasn't been able to properly groom someone to take over. And then you got this love triangle situation happening on top of. There's a lot of fighting, but at the same time, the fighting is making things stagnant. It's impossible to produce. There's a lot of fighting with production. Like I said, in Kingdom Reign, like everybody's fighting it, and it's keeping the work from getting done. And like I said, him having to come in and constantly clean shit up. egos clashing. Nobody's trying to work together. Him trying to focus on the goals that he has, and you know, he got somebody to answer to too. But the people who he handed the reins over to the show are ill-equipped for the job, making it not worth his while. Yeah. So listen, if I had to judge, I would, I don't know. Like I said, there's going to be an announcement, so we'll see, right? Anyways, that's what I got for Carlos King. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. It was a little interesting, this reading. When I first looked at it, I was like, what? And then and this is a reading where I clarified a lot of the cards, which I don't normally have to do. I'm normally able to just get the puzzle. But it was like I was clarifying, and then it was coming out as more people, and I just felt like immediately, like, I felt a challenge to develop the story. You know what I mean? But I think I got it right. So anyways, you guys, like this video, please make sure you are subscribed. Make sure your notification bells are on. Check me out at the Inner Alchemist at Etsy. Get some stocking stuffers for you and your friends and your homegirls and the people that you love. Try out the 1111 money bowl. I don't know. Try me out. Anyways, but until then, you guys take good care of yourselves, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.